of this country. The participation of women was enormous. And if you have seen how they reacted, they were reacting in celebration moods. You know, like people were coming, celebrating the occasion, not just voting.
Mona, you were always out in the field in previous polls as well, in the previous constitutional referendum.
I've never seen this happiness. I've never seen people so happy while coming
What
to
about
vote.
the numbers? Because you've been in the field a lot in those referendums. How about the voter turnout? Is it the same?
Well,
Is it
the
less?
numbers, yes, the numbers, I'm sorry, because this was one of the ballot boxes they are counting here. The numbers at large is the largest numbers I've ever seen since I've been covering, you know, for several times. I've been covering for the first referendum, the presidency, the People's Assembly. These are the most huge numbers of people voting or casting their voices I've ever seen. And they are coming feeling happy to come. Nobody is telling them or forcing them to come, and they are coming in a very they are very enthusiastic.
Okay.
This is the feeling that I can really give you.
Thank you, Mona Msalhi, from our polling station in Shubra. You're saying that the West is seeing things and it has changed the tune.
I think so. First of all, you know, all what we have seen in the past 3 years is that the Obama administration is full of contradictions. So you have a contradiction between the Pentagon and the State Department on one side, who recognize without saying it, and you saw when Secretary of State John Kerry came, he recognized the present government, so the interim government, he recognized that there is a path to democracy that is started and so on. Then you have on the other side the White House, which is totally continues to say that it's a military coup and that they should suspend the aid to Egypt and so on. But I believe that today, and you will see in the coming days, the Obama administration, as I said, its most important value is its pragmatism. So I believe that they will resume U.S. aid programs to Egypt eventually. First of all, they will come out and say they will certify, after what they have seen, that Egypt has held a constitutional referendum, Egypt is supporting a democratic transition. I mean, the main message that the millions who took to the street today and between yesterday and today, this is the message that we are sending to the West. So stop talking about a bogus democracy. This is what they use now, a bogus democracy, and so on. Egyptians want you know, it is self-determination, and self-determination is one of their values, and we are proving it today that we want to decide about our future.
Okay. Dr. Hussein, you're into planning and development. Now that the Constitution referendum, the process, well, I'm not going to say it's over, but we finished the voting, and the issue is the next step. As Dr. Mona was saying, maybe we should not put a lot of weight on how the West is regarding us, because we really have to start getting back on our own feet. What should be the next step?
Well, that's the first, as you said, the Constitution, you have it right now, and I think I accept 100% what Dr. Mona Makram Ebied have said, which is, you know, I live in the States and I know what you're saying exactly. Ignore anybody against your will. This is your will, and this is what the people wanted.
Maybe that we need training in that, because we have not been doing that in the past. We're always very self-conscious about how...
No, we always imagine, you know, that the West, we have to take care of what the West says, we have to comply with what the Western value... It's not true.
No.
And we are creating that kind of thing. And as I
Is it
said,
we are creating or the fact that we're dependent?
that we were dependent. We are no more dependent.
The fact that we were dependent.
Yeah, and that's what I believe. Because, and as I said, I suppose you agree with me, the pragmatism of the United States. They will always stand with the winner. And now the winner is the people. And this is for them new to realize, you know, that the new actor on the scene is the people. People power is what has changed for 3 years, has changed the image of Egypt and of the region.
Absolutely.
Okay, planning, what should be the next step?
So after having the constitution, and I can assure you one thing, it will be above 80%.
Okay.
Because I have seen
So it will be accepted by over 80% of the people?
over 80%.
Yeah, but you know what is more important is the voter turnout.
Well,
Yesterday it was over 40% of those eligible to vote turned out yesterday.
I don't know,
This
but
is the
overall,
statistics.
it should be more than 38 point whatever percent that the previous constitution had. So we are fixed on that, the voter turnout.
yeah, but I'm talking about one thing. The people in the previous constitution where people were being paid to go for it.
Exactly.
Yes.
But this is, people are willing to go for it and fight for it because this is their life. This
It's
is
also
their
worth
future.
noting we don't have the electronic voting this time, which
No.
also reduces.
No,
it was
it's not.
manipulated last time, so this time this is not
We
an
didn't
option.
have it last time. We did.
We did, and it's not this. It's not allowed this time. There's no
Really?
electronic voting this time.
I
So
want
that
you to
reduced
watch.
the numbers as well.
Yeah, I want you to watch some of the videos, which is you have done it. Look to the people who are going and voting for this. Number one, as I said, women. And why women? Women sending a direct message to anyone on earth. We love it, and we like the Constitution, and we are going to go for it. They didn't take 1 kilo of sugar or a case of oil. So they have done it by their own will. So the Constitution is going to go above the imaginations.
They have done it also because the general has appealed in particular to women. So this gave another push. I mean, they did.
This is another thing I want to touch on it very, very lightly, just a quick comment. One of the things that we've noticed at the street is that people not only are going to vote for the Constitution, but in a way, the fact that most of them are carrying the Egyptian flag and the picture of General Sisi, is this a voting for Sisi as well? Can we consider it that way? Because
it's a voting for his popularity, not necessarily for him becoming president, but for his popularity.
But isn't that what most Egyptians want?
Legitimizing his popularity, his credibility, and the legitimacy of what he did. As against when it was said it was illegitimate,
it's a coup.
It was a coup, etc. So this is really a massive endorsement of what has happened on the 30th of June. Now, about the presidential choice and all this, we don't want to have emotions running too far. We will see when he decides, we will see who, you know, in the coming days, we will see, first of all, if we'll start with presidential elections or not, and so on. I believe we will, because there is no time for parliamentary elections now.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, and I'll give you the floor after that. Okay. We have with us our correspondent in Alexandria, which was also a witness to a lot of the violence during the Brotherhood era. How are things at your end, Ahmed?
Yes, good evening.
How are things at your end? Did the polling station close, or are you still operating? How are things in Alex?
Yeah, now, as we can see, maybe in the footage, we can see people who are counting the number of votes. Of course, we can't tell actually the exact number, but regarding the atmosphere that happened those 2 days in Alexandria, we can say that people were very enthusiastic for, of course, the positive choice. I mean, yes, for the constitution. You told minutes ago is that people came to vote for the constitution and vote for Abdel Fattah, to support Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And yeah, we can say that some simple people, you know, said that I will vote yes because Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said like this constitution. Yeah, it's just people have to know the narrow link between, you know, between Egyptian people and the Egyptian army, which actually are the same part, and we can say that each one supports each other. During those 2 days, we saw a very good process of referendum. You know, a few hours ago, the General Council of the United States came to visit schools, to see what's going on. When I saw her and tried to get some words, she just tell me that the USA are just observers. She didn't want to make any conclusion, any comment about what's going on. But she just was observing actually the process. As regards security, you know, we have collaboration in Alexandria between the Navy actually, who are supervising security in 4 governorates. I mean, the sea governorates situated or located in the sea, like Alexandria, Beheira, Kafr Sheikh, and Marsa Matruh. This is a collaboration between Navy and the policemen, the Interior Ministry. Very good collaboration, and we saw them during all the 2 days, you know, passing through the city with trucks and special forces and so on.
Okay, Ahmed, point clearly understood. Thank you very much for your input. And if we go back to you, Dr. Hussein, we finished the constitution regardless of the results, the percentage, but it seems, and I don't want to be preemptive here, but it seems that the trend is more in favor of passing this constitution rather than not passing it. And the question is, how to move forward? Aside from the presidential elections, we have the parliamentary elections. And that takes me to the fact that, unfortunately, our liberal camp is very much divided. What needs to be done at this juncture to make sure that the momentum of this consolidation, this holistic spirit that has hit the Egyptians again, that we do not go back into divisions again over this member or that member or this party or that. We don't want to be ripped apart again as a society.
Well, let's agree we had an experience of 3 years. Yes. And these 3 years, one of them was with the army, and it was half and half, and it was not good as the people would like to have, and it was not so bad as the period after. And when Dr. Morsi took over and he became a president, he showed the very good will at the very beginning, but it turned upside down. Everything is being changed from A to Z.
How did he show the goodwill? I don't understand. His statements?
No. He was on TV before election. He will do this. If 4 people went against him, he will...
that's the campaign ban. Yeah. I mean, that's
Look, he have to state that if he wants to be the president of Egypt, he should do like our recent president, when he went for the Christmas, and he went and he met the Pope of the Copts there. He is the president of Egypt.